It's just that mutual, I don't want to say attraction, but it's kind of like a mutual attraction. Like,
to you and hold you accountable for that behavior. But I'm still on your side and I still got your back.
So you being genuine to yourself allowed the other person to see what you were actually like.
Exactly.
I like these things, but also I know you like these things. So let's meet halfway all the time. And
Hi everyone, I'm Afshi.
I'm Gil.
I'm Shafeez.
And I'm Idz.
And welcome to the Breakup Show. So, thank you guys first of all for being here today. And we just want to say that, in this life, if we are very lucky, we get people who will stick with us, who will grow with us, who will do life with us and commit to us without any obligation to. There's no romance, there's no kids, there's no blood. The only thing that holds all of this together is a mutual desire to be in each other's life. And so today I have one of my besties here, a favorite of our show. Hello. Gil has been on the show the most out of anybody else ever, and that's because she's perfect and special in every single way. And along with two other besties here today who have so graciously agreed to join us. So please don't be shy!
I don't like this guy.
I don't know.
Please introduce yourselves.
Dipersilakan.
It's first.
Okay. So my name is Idzaid and I work with a German academic exchange service. This guy, I've known him for the longest time, I guess, since A-levels. Yeah. So since 2015 years?
I think 2006. No,
2005. 2005.
Wow. 2005.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yes.
He's still alive.
That's a long
time. It's too long to know somebody.
Yeah. And I guess he, amongst all of my friends, he's the one I consider my best friend.
Your bestie.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately. It is like that. We barely have choices in these things.
Yeah, okay.
Gil, you've given us 100 intros, but give us another one.
I've known you for, not that long really. Like
5 years?
5 years. And I feel like our friendship obviously has grown since we met.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're in my life like every week.
Yeah.
It's really happy to be here for the
and
fifth time.
as we all know, Gil is a photographer, an artist, all of that good stuff. What about you?
My name is Shafeez. I was an engineer for a couple of years, and now I'm also doing some odd stuff, analyst basically. We've been knowing each other for ages, and it was in college, right?
It was, doing A-levels.
Doing A-levels, yeah.
Oh, man.
And then we went to study together. And then
in Germany,
you went to Germany together? Okay,
correct.
Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Okay, so what, to you guys, right, what does it mean?
Friendship, what does it mean?
Big question, I know.
I guess friendship for me is just somebody that just gets you without having to work so hard. And sometimes it's a bit like relationships as well.
Yeah.
Where sometimes it just fits, and then you just realize it.
Yeah.
You're like, in all the ways that I am ugly and horrible, you see and you don't judge and you allow me to be that way. I feel like that's, and then in all my good qualities as well, you take and you love and you just to feel seen. I feel like it's a big part of friendship.
It's basically like an unconditional, genuine connection that you just can't force, and it just
can't force
happens.
it. Yeah. There's no way.
Basically, how I would describe it.
I like what you said. Being non-judgmental is really like accepting that person who he is or who she is, and then just ignoring any big pluses or any flaws.
Yeah, you allow them to be.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's like.
Plus, we were like roommates during A-levels. So
Honestly, we were just talking about this, and I was like, I love all my friends so much. I would never want to live with them because I want to preserve our friendship. Because sometimes living with someone is like
it's a different.
Oh yeah, that was that one time.
How was living together?
A-levels was fine.
Yeah.
And then we went off to Germany, and then we were staying in two separate
rooms,
apartments for a while. Yeah. And then I think in my second or third semester, we said, "Hey, let's go live together again." And then we did. And then that's when a few fights happened. Well, no, but we never talk about it.
No.
Because it's just all under the rug.
Yeah, of course.
It happens.
It happens. And I feel like if you don't, that's the thing, is that you can be annoyed at them or whatever, but it's not enough to change anything.
Yes.
Yeah, true.
To cut ties or anything.
Yeah.
Happen,
And so, what kind of keeps you committed to a friend? What do you think it is? Because when you get married, when you're in family, all of those things, there's so much it's just commitment. It's clear.
Right.
But like with friendship, it's very free. You know what I mean? There's nothing that's concrete, at least.
I think there's a difference between best friends and just like normal friends.
Mm.
So with like Shafeez and I, right, I consider him to be like my best friend. And there were times when we wouldn't talk to each other, see each other for like months on end, for like years sometimes. I
Yeah.
think we
The
didn't see each
longest-
other for like 2 years.
2 years.
And this was before WhatsApp video, and
Correct.
you know, we could only had Skype.
Oh, Skype.
Slowly
Yes.
the connection is like
The
genuine.
Wi-Fi is not good. All of that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think with him and I know that no matter how much distance we have or however long we don't talk to each other, he's still going to be my best friend. But like if it's like a normal friend and I don't see them for a while, that relationship is going to like die out.
Yeah.
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 Agreed.
It's.
Right.
But why do you feel that commitment though?
Why
Or
would
do
I
you
feel
think
that?
It's
it just
actually
is?
we don't really feel that it's commitment. It's just that mutual. I don't want to say attraction, but it's kind of like a mutual
yeah.
attraction.
Do you think it's like
you kind of-
history, maybe?
No,
No.
it's like the force.
Yeah.
You don't really
Yeah.
see it, you can't do anything, but you can
Yeah.
feel it, you know?
It's just
Yeah.
the way the guy is.
Yeah.
The person is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like I feel like sometimes there's almost like no reason for why some things work and some
Yeah.
things don't. Like
Yeah.
even one of my friends, like we met in high school. We've been friends for like 13 years now. Sunny, she would love that I say her name. She's a Leo. She
Oh
loves
my God.
this.
Love her.
Leos, yeah, I know.
But like we were saying the other day, like I don't know why we lasted so long.
Mm.
We love each other, but we had so many friends in high school that we were all best friends and all of that.
Okay.
But for some reason, this just stood the test of time. And she lived in England and I lived in America. And we had like many years where we didn't see each other, but it just worked. You know, we stayed
Yeah.
best friends.
I think maybe it's because how people stay good friends for a long time is because their growth is compatible.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Mm.
If
Grow the
people
same.
grow in different ways and they're no longer compatible, of course the friendships are going to end. So I don't think you can even, you know, control that. It's just like if you guys' growth is compatible and your friendship keeps going strong and long lasting throughout the years, I think it's
I
just
think it's something like that as well.
lucky, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Luck. I think.
Luck, right?
Because I feel like you are lucky
Yeah.
if you can have like good friends. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who don't.
Yeah.
You know, they don't really find like, you know, those like kindred spirits and people that just get them and feel like, okay, I can just be me around these people.
That's it. I think that's
Yeah.
it. Where you can actually just be yourself and you don't have to try so hard.
Yeah, not at
Exactly.
all.
And it's the same thing with like dating, isn't it? Sometimes
Yeah.
it's very if you go on like a Tinder date and either you click or you don't click.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Is there a moment, at least like, you know, with, like you and me and with the two of you, that you felt that, oh yeah, okay, like this person is here for me and this person is my friend?
We have. I remember until this day when the first time you said to me, "Oh yeah, I consider you my best friend." And I was like, "Oh, okay." When did that happen? Yeah, it was in Offenburg.
In Offenburg,
Yeah.
back in Germany.
Yeah,
Oh,
I remember that you said that you can tell me anything, almost everything, or anything and almost everything, and that's when you started to consider me as your
Wow.
best friend. And I was like, okay.
Oh, it's
That
Yeah.
I should
You know?
just beat myself back up and just be like, dude, no. When was he there for me?
you genuinely like kind of looked at, you felt like, okay, yeah, this person is, you know, that this is my friend.
Yeah.
This is really my friend.
So with my ex-wife,
Mm.
he was the best man at my wedding. So we had to, like, my ex-wife was German. So we had to get married in Denmark. And I remember that guy being there. And he didn't have to be there, but he was the best man at my wedding.
I also wanted to go to Denmark, so that's that. But 50-50, you know? Win-win situation.
Denmark.
Denmark ain't bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
So,
was the best decision.
do not go to Denmark before you get married.
Yep.
Okay. But I think that was one thing. The second thing was when my grandmother passed away, and I needed, I just wanted somebody to go with me for the tahlil. Yeah, for the prayers at night. So it was like, so I asked him, hey, can you join me for that thing? And then he did. Yeah.
Like those kind of moments,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me with Gil, like there was like two moments that are very strong in my mind. And when Gil and I first met, right, we didn't really like each other.
Vibe, yeah.
No, we had another friend and we both liked our other friend,
Yeah.
but we were just like, okay, I guess we'll tolerate each
Yeah,
other.
we're sort of kind of forced into a room together all the time. So it's like, okay, we're in each other's lives. But I think like coming and realizing that it's like maybe going through traumatic things at the
Yeah.
same time
And
together.
but this is, I don't know if you know this, but there was one point where we all went to a waterfall together, and Gil was there.
Yeah.
And we had a bunch of other people I didn't know so well. I knew her and a few other friends. And I just remember feeling like I first felt a bit self-conscious that day. And when I like took off my clothes to go in, and I was in my swimsuit, somebody immediately commented on my breasts. And I was just kind of so embarrassed immediately. And I was just like, oh my God. And Gil like looked at me. She was like, why the fuck does she have to comment on your body? And I was like, oh my God. Like,
I mean,
she just like, I felt like, oh my God, she sees me and she gets it. And that moment I was like, okay.
yeah.
And it's something small, but you know,
Yeah,
when you just kind of like, oh, thank you for understanding and feeling like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, we can stand up for people regardless if they're our friends or not. And I think when I started doing that for other people, I started making friends, like with you.
Yeah.
And also, even though we weren't really close friends, I feel like even stepping up and doing really hard things for those people that you want to like establish a friendship with, like when you know, saw the person I was dating before with someone else, and then you came and told me, and it was, you know, very traumatic things that it started a very beautiful friendship from a very, you know, weird.
Yeah,
and
I think it's that, like, I think even in that moment, like, I wanted to be a good friend to this person that I was not yet good friends with, but I knew that as a person, what I saw was not right, and I owed it to you.
Exactly.
Just as a person.
So you being genuine to yourself allowed the other person to see what you were actually like.
Exactly. And like those are the moments I think where you see somebody, you're like, oh, this person's got my back.
Yeah, and we have these weird barriers sometimes that we put like in front of ourselves that we're like, okay, no, I don't vibe with that person just because of this. When they're literally just made up. You have no idea unless you like bring that wall down.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh my God, we're actually like so compatible.
Yeah.
And, like we love each other.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's very interesting to see once you like decide to just have no like biases and you really like go.
Yeah, because I think there are a lot of moments, it's like people, like you can see people make a decision that like, I'm going to do something now and I'm going to be here for you and I'm going to do right by you. And and it might not have been a moment where you liked even each other that much, but it's because you met each other at that level. That you're like, hey, look at this. Yeah.
Plus, I know this guy and I, right? We will make promises to each other, like, okay, I'll meet you on that day. And then we'll be like, you know what? I got a date, so I'm going to cancel on you. And we both understand that we would do that to the other person. But when it comes to the really important things, like if we say, okay, no, I really need you there for this thing. I know he's going to be there. Yeah. And I would do the same thing for him.
And it's that ability to rely on someone in this like it's a very in a profound way, like to ask someone to come with you to a funeral of someone you love, like that's something that, okay, I'm going to show up and I'm going to be there for this person. Because like going to a funeral is so sad and you don't want to see your friend in pain and all of that, but all you can do is be there for them, and to be there for them, you know, is to be a friend. And like, what do you guys think is like the key to maintaining a friendship? Because like, I was thinking about this recently. It's how, like, you know, when with family and with romantic partners, we consider them in a lot of the decisions we make. So like, you know, if I have to go move overseas, if I get an opportunity, I need to think what about my parents, about if I have a boyfriend, my boyfriend, if I, you know, or my siblings, and like, I really think about that. But with my friends, I don't think that, oh, but my best friend lives here, so I can't move there. That, you know, we don't consider our friends like that. So how do we maintain friendships, but we also don't consider them as much?
I think that's what happened with your wedding, because I moved away. We live in the same place for a couple of years, and I moved away to another city. And then, even though we still kept in contact with each other, but it was not as often as when we were close to each other, right? Because at that time, we didn't have WhatsApp, Facebook. And then that's when I knew, when he said he's getting married, then, okay, I have to go. It's just, there's no question. So it's kind of like, it's the balance between...
You were not living in Denmark?
No, but quite close.
Yeah, he was up in Hamburg.
I was in Hamburg, he was in the south of Germany. So I was like, okay, I haven't seen him for like, 1 year plus at that time. And I was like, okay, I have to go there. I have to, just to balance, to keep up the balance, right? Because when I moved away, I didn't really consider him in the decision making. So I asked him to follow, but he doesn't want to go.
There's no obligation.
Exactly.
So I feel like if a friend of mine...
You left me in that small city in the south of Germany.
No, exactly. If a friend said that to me, I'd be like, huh? What do you mean? Like, I have to get on with my life. And like, good friends will never tell you to stay. You know, they always tell you to go.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, you asked me, you told me I want to move up to Hamburg. And I said, yeah, you do what's good for yourself, because like,
Yeah.
the hell does it matter, you know?
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, I also feel like it's subjective. Like some people don't really have a family of their own, so their friend group is
Yeah.
their family.
Yeah.
So they very much would consider
Yeah.
like
yeah.
moving or anything, because that's just, especially if it's like years and years and they have no one else.
Mm.
So I feel like it depends.
It
on the
depends. Yeah, that's
situation.
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I think nowadays it's just made it so much easier with technology to keep up with your
Definitely.
friends.
Mhm.
And at times we also kind of take that for granted,
Yeah.
because we always think, oh, you know what, this guy's just like a WhatsApp call away,
Mm.
or I can just video call them on Zoom or whatever.
Yeah.
And back then, when we only had Skype, you know, and you had to pay for Skype, oh god, that was stupid. You know, you had to commit a lot more to the friendship
Yeah.
to really like stay in communication with everybody and, you know, check up on them, see what's going on. But I think when it comes to like best friends, you don't have to work as hard, because
Yeah.
it's like that friendship will always still stay there, you know?
You have security.
Yeah.
But how do you establish the security?
Oh, I don't know.
I
To be
know.
honest.
Time,
I think
I
it's
guess.
like you said at the
Time.
beginning, you know, sometimes it just works.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like with my friendships, I'm so secure. I know that even if we get so angry and we shout at each other, like, it doesn't mean it's gonna be over. It's gonna take a lot for it to be over.
Mm.
But like, I also can't say that how that security comes. I guess it's time, you know, like this after
a
all
while.
these years, and you know, when I wasn't easy to be friends with and you weren't easy to be friends with, we somehow still
Exactly.
stayed friends.
Exactly.
And
I think we were lucky because, like, during A levels, we were staying off at the boarding school or the boarding place, right? And in the hostel, it just so happened that he didn't have a roommate, and there were like 4 people to one apartment. So I just moved in there.
Yeah.
I was staying with somebody else before that in a different, completely different course. And he's like, hey, come by and you can stay here. And I didn't know what this guy was like at the beginning. I thought, oh, you know, I don't care. Fine, I'll just move in with these guys. And it turns out, okay, he's also a Taurus, which I think plays a role, which is really
you
weird.
guys are Tauruses?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
2 bulls.
Yeah.
His birthday is like 3 days off from mine.
Oh my god.
2 days and 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the date is.
Oh, you're older.
Yeah.
And then we're both fans with the same football team, which isn't doing too well this year.
Yeah.
We're both fans of Formula One. We both love Lord of the Rings. We both really love Star Wars. DC Comics.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just so happened that this guy we were quite lucky with that.
You just matched.
It's just
Yeah.
matched. Yeah.
Yeah. That's luck. That's only I feel
Exactly.
like that is pure dumb luck.
Yeah.
Because I think you just never know. You
Exactly.
really never know.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I can see that like people like even like when my sister was like struggling to make friends, I was just like telling my mom, I was like, I wish she could have like a best friend like how I have here. Like, I want her to have it. And now over time she has, but like it doesn't just happen. People don't just get that.
Yeah, it could be immediate. It could take years.
Yeah.
Like, you never know.
It's
Yeah.
exactly the same like dating. Like you can
Yeah.
never know you have a match with someone
Exactly.
unless it just happens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and I think that's the interesting thing also about friendships is because it's not dating. Like you don't have that kind of like control over people to be like, you know, not even control, but like not even, I don't know what the word is, like, you know, when you are committed to someone, like this is my romantic partner, they are not going to be romantic with anybody else. But people have multiple best friends, you know.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
And so we're kind of allowed that space.
Yeah.
At least I have quite a few
That's
best
true,
friends.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's everyone is unique and special and doesn't take away from the other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
What's
like
interesting-
beautiful when we can all coexist together.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
Yeah.
What's interesting, coming back to the little horoscope thing, right, is that amongst my closest friends, I think 3 or 4 of them also Tauruses. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why.
it's like an
Tauruses are
attraction
chill,
thing. You just
yeah.
attract each other.
Yeah.
Maybe I think we're very laid
Chill.
back and
Chill.
chill.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
chill.
Correct.
So you know how like honestly, like have you guys ever had like a friend breakup? We've had romantic breakups and all of that, but a friend breakup.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah?
Yeah.
2 years.
How was
Oh.
it? What was it
Guy
like?
is an asshole. Okay, wait. Yeah, sorry.
Dang, that's how you feel.
Yeah. He didn't go to school with you. This was way back
Oh, way
before
back.
A-levels.
Oh, yeah, I think
this
you
was
told
like
me once.
Form
Yeah,
1
okay.
to Form 5.
Yeah. Okay.
And, you know, at the
So long
beginning,
ago.
yeah, he is also one of my oldest friends, ex-friends, I guess, yeah. But he's the type of guy, you know, that, oh God, it's, if you meet up with him, he just makes you feel worse. And then after a while, you just realize, you know, these type of people, you just got to cut out of your life. And it's
But
just-
how was that process? And like, afterwards, like, how did it feel? Did it feel like akin to a romantic breakup?
No, I wouldn't say that hard. Yeah, like romantic breakups, they really bring me down. That friendship breakup was more like, okay, you know what, dude, just do your own thing.
It like almost got like, I think with friendships we really let it get we let it go. We don't tend to that as much, and so because we've let it go for so long, when it finally does end, it does hurt, but you kind of, it's already getting sour.
It's already getting sour. Yeah, I guess it's like a really bad relationship towards the end. I mean, like a toxic type of relationship where you're happier not to be with that person anymore. So it ended up being a very toxic type of friendship, where I knew that, okay, if he needs help, okay, I'll go there and I'll talk to him and listen to him and everything like that. But then towards the conversation, the more it goes on, you just realize, okay, he's just sucking your soul out. And you feel so much worse about yourself after you end up meeting with them.
It's like your friends should, if not give you energy, at least keep your energy at the same level. They should not drain you.
Yeah, and it always felt like a competition. I'm like, oh, dude, I mean, you're the one that wanted to meet up with me and discuss things, what's going on in your life.
Yeah. I get that.
Yeah.
What about you? No friendship breakups?
I tend to be very selective when making friends. I guess, like with this guy, it's just luck. It's just everything just fits into place. But I guess I can recall one episode. Peter. You remember Peter?
Oh, Peter.
Yeah, Peter.
Peter is Peter
like
in German.
Peter in German is Peter. So anyway, so even though we were best friends and we were studying at the same place, he was studying something else and I was studying a different course. And this guy studied the same course as me. And at first, studying overseas is pretty hard for a foreigner like me, especially brown people like us, right? So, but he was like, he is mixed Polish and German. But he always told me that, even though he grew up in Germany, he always feels like alienated. So I kind of like magnetized towards that. So I kind of like him.
Like a similar kind of experience.
Correct, yes. And I thought that, okay, this guy is good. I mean, I can chill with him, joke around, and also I can study with him. So there was a big plus. But then, something happened, which I'm not going to go into detail, but it just felt like I got stabbed in the back because he said bad thing about me to someone else, and that person told me about it. And I was like, okay, that's it. That's the end. That's the end of the story. I'm not going to talk to you anymore.
You felt like you could trust
exactly,
someone.
Yeah. You break down your walls and then they betrayed you. So I am very
and
against
I feel like
betrayal.
a lot of people, even though at least for me, like I feel like in romantic relationships, I always believe that trust fully, and if they betray your trust, that's on them because we should trust fully. And so if that does happen, it does suck, but a part of you kind of can expect a romantic relationship to end, when you're dating and stuff like that. But with friendships, at least, this is how I always perceive it, is that it's never going to end. You might move away, I might live somewhere else, we might not talk for a few years, but it doesn't break up. To have a breakup with a friend is like, I didn't see that coming,
I almost ended up in a fight with Peter after you left.
Yeah,
it was one night after we went off like clubbing or something like that, and so happened he was there as well. And then we had to walk back to the same hostel together.
Peter.
Yeah, he sounds like a terrible person. Sucks, really.
Okay, so I mean, Gil and I, we went through something very hard, and I've been through 2 friendship breakups in my life. One when I was 17, and the other when how many years ago was it? 2-3 years ago. And even now, the one I went through when I was 17, it's nearly been 10 years, and it still hurts every time I think about it. Like even with this person who I have seen post breakup years later, and they still don't want to even interact with me or say hi to me, and I respect that boundary that they set, but it's still kind of like, oh wow, like this breakup the hurt has lasted for so long. But even for Gil and I, like I feel like what we had this mutual friend, that's how we met.
That brought us together.
I was friends with her for like 10 years. Gil, how long were you friends?
3-4 years.
4 years. Yeah. We won't tell all the details. I won't spill the details, but it was just that during that time I had broken up with my horrible boyfriend, and my friend had somehow gotten involved in all of that, and there was, like what you said, a lot of things said about me behind my back, a lot of stories about me told from like my angry ex-boyfriend about me that were not true, that were believed by my friend for 10 years. And I think that's where like my heart was so broken, because I was like, 10 years, you know, we've been friends from 13 to 23, like, you know, this has been a long time. You've seen me grow, I've seen you grow. I tried to accept her at every single point of growth, and to not be believed in that way. I honestly, the breakup with my boyfriend was like 10% of my sadness, 90% was towards the loss of my friend.
Did she ever say why she believed him?
I think it was just like complicated. They were also friends. He was besties with her boyfriend. You know, it's just like a very
it's like all intertwined, which when things go wrong, it can be super messy. So I think for me also, like, that breakup with that person as well, like I guess when we broke up with this mutual friend, we started being very close, and I think that became very awkward for that person.
Yeah, and I think we were both hurt. We were just so hurt that we like found that like we can take comfort in how we feel, because we feel we're heartbroken over the same person.
Yeah, so this person, obviously, when all of these things were being said about you, I was like, me and other friends feel bad. So we were like, you know what, we have to be honest. These things are being said about you.
And that's also why I felt that like I can trust Gil, because I think that in that time, both Gil and I were like, whatever's said and done, we're going to be good friends to each other.
Exactly. And I feel like even though it was like that one incident, it was kind of a long time coming, because people, you know, they grow and
different.
We
started to grow different.
So they'll start adopting habits and lifestyles that is even completely beneficial, like for them. Like it helps them a lot, but you know, their growth, you start looking at them differently and starts affecting you and your friendship in a negative way.
Plus, we're talking about the ages of 13 to 23, right? And there's a lot of growth during that period.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that when we started to grow different, to a certain degree, me as well. I'm not innocent in all of this. You know, with a breakup, it's a two-way street. There's there's all the other person's side of the story might sound very different from what we're saying, and so there was also judgment on my part of the way this person grew, and I think when the way I was going, she was judging me. So there was like the friendship started to grow sour, and we didn't want to say anything, and because we didn't fight for each other, it just
we feel a lot of judgment, and there's like absolutely no room for judgment in friendships.
No,
I think it starts being.
And
like, you know what I mean? It's you start resenting them. It starts growing like a negativity towards them. So it's just like, it's better
in a sense, like sometimes I wonder, like if I had kind of confronted it a little bit more head on. You know, when I started to feel it get sour, instead of go around it and feel like I couldn't say it. You know, all of those things that. But as I'm speaking about it, it's like a romantic breakup, isn't it? It was just like.
I guess.
And but it felt deeper than that.
Actually, it's funny because with romantic breakups, once they're over, they're truly over. You like do not want to think about it. It's very cringy thinking about.
And you can almost
like at least for me, I'm just like, I don't want to think about that. It's so cringe. It's over. And then once you don't have any feelings for that person, it's done. You don't really think about it in any other way, and you stop thinking about it. But with a friend, because there were no romantic feelings, I will constantly think about this. I will always, and then if I have a chance to like rant about it, I will. I will never kind of like get over it.
I feel the opposite.
I feel like this is a breakup. The two friendship breakups, I almost cannot fully get over either of them. It's like I'm okay with it. I accept it, and for both of these people, I feel like the trust is gone. It's all gone. That will never come back, no matter what. We can't be friends. I still wish you the best and everything.
For sure.
But I think that heartbreak from that doesn't really go.
Interesting.
Because you expected to have these people in your life forever.
Yeah, and obviously you still care about them.
They love
about their well-being. I would love to know if they're okay or anything, but with romantic relationships, I'm just like,
I don't know that.
If they're good, they're
like
good.
A toxic relationship.
Yeah, it's just like I don't know. It's just like you keep them behind, and whatever happens, it's
I don't know if this is a guy and thing or a
maybe
girl
thing.
thing.
How do you guys feel?
I think it's still complete, and I know that, for example, like my wife would agree with you completely 100%. So I think it's a guy-girl thing.
I think girls just have a closer bond, possibly.
I think that and this is an interesting question, because like I feel that's always the thing I always like tease my dad about it with like friendships. Like he has like one friend that he always calls sometimes. Like, is that your bestie? Is that your bestie? Ask him how he's feeling. And he's like, no, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. It's like, tell him you love him. You know, I'm like, just try and push my dad. He's like, no, guys don't do that. But like, I think with us girls, like with our friendship, like, it's like there's so much like, I love you, you're amazing,
Emotions,
you're beautiful, and I'm gonna do things for you, and I want to treat you, and I want to like, you know, there's a lot of like these long, deep, emotional conversations, and we really, really know each other.
Interesting.
And I don't know if that's the same for male friendships, and maybe you can tell me because we are not boys, so we don't know.
Like, no,
It's
definitely.
like you were explaining complete opposite of what we think about.
But do you also feel you don't need that from your male friends?
Yeah, I don't. No,
No.
like I wouldn't
Please.
expect him to like come over and like comfort me and cook for me if I'm really down. No.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
That's like weekly.
okay.
I'm not gonna call up.
Even once a year will be weird for us. Yeah.
I'm not gonna call up a bunch of my guy friends if I just broke up or whatever and be like, oh, dudes, I need somebody to like cry over, like a drink with or whatever.
Yeah.
I know. It's like,
yeah, no.
okay, I'm going through a breakup.
Yeah.
I just need like I'm gonna go
distraction.
autopilot for a while.
Yeah.
Like a distraction. Like you just said,
Yeah.
that's the perfect thing. Yeah. But it wouldn't come to the point where I really need like all of them around me and all of that. No, like no, I just need my
Interesting.
space.
Interesting.
I don't think either is right or wrong.
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
And
It's
I
just
feel like
interesting.
men,
Yeah.
I guess to like bond in a friendship, it's more about activities and things that you guys have in common rather than deep talks and emotions.
But also, I wanted to ask this question because this is a perception I have about male friendships, and please correct me if I'm wrong, because I always found that like with male friendships, like they don't hold each other as accountable. Like with like at least with my friends, right? If I see my friend like cheat on her boyfriend, I won't tell. I will always be your friend and I will always be on your side. But I will tell you that's wrong. You should never have done that. You shouldn't cheat on your partner. It's just wrong, no matter what. And I can still say that to you and hold you accountable for that behavior. But I'm still on your side and I still got your back.
I think for us, I think like for me with him, like dude, you can do whatever you want. It's right or wrong.
Yeah,
It doesn't
that's
matter
so
to me.
interesting.
But it's okay that you want to tell me about it. There's no judgment here. But like completely no judgment. I wouldn't even say that it's wrong, unless if you go and kill somebody. Then I say, you go to the police now.
Yeah.
You're gonna help me bury the body.
First, then you go to the police.
Wait,
No, it's like I'm gonna help you bury the body, but I'm gonna tell you it's wrong to have murdered this person.
Actually, for me, like honesty in friendship is a bit tricky. Like unless it's something like you cheated on your boyfriend or something, of course I will tell you that's not okay, and I will be like, a guide or just telling you, from an outsider's perspective, try to be objective. But also when someone, like I have a friend and they're passionate about something or something that I just don't have the heart to tell them, like, that's not good or you're being terrible at this. I'm still trying to grow and be honest in terms of those little things, like the little honesties. Like I usually just like always applaud things
Just
for
hype
my
them
friends,
up,
hub them up, but I struggle at being honest in like small things, if that makes sense. Like I just kind of always want to make them happy and feel good about themselves.
Oh yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
I learned from my ex relationship, the divorce and everything like that, that if my friends had told me what they actually thought about the relationship before I got married, I wouldn't have gotten married. So now whenever it comes to like, so now whenever it comes to my friends, if they ask me, okay, what do you think about this person? I'm just gonna be like blunt and brutally honest and tell them, you know what? Before this one, you might want to consider this and this and this and this.
And I think that there is like space for you to say that, look, I don't think that, if I don't think you're treated right, you know how I feel. But if you still want to like go on with what you're doing, you still give them space to do so and you still support them in that process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just say like you had a friend and they were going to start a new job and you just felt like this job is not for them. Maybe you should reconsider, maybe you shouldn't. But if they go and start the job anyway, you would still support them. That doesn't go. I think that's also part of being a good friend. It's like there's a show called Insecure, and like I love that show, and they show this friendship between these two characters, and then this one character's like sleeping with this one guy, and the other friend is just kind of like, okay, like she was like, you know what? If you like it, I love it. And when I heard that, I was like, yeah, that's how I kind of want to adopt these my opinions with my friends. It's like if they ask me honestly, I will tell them. But if they like it and they're happy,
Yeah, I don't want to be
There's
always
no-
scolding you
yeah,
and
and, like-
telling you what to do.
Yeah.
I don't want to
Yeah,
make you
that-
feel bad
Yeah,
for
exactly.
your
Yeah.
choice, even if I don't think it's the best choice. And I don't want to do the I told you so and all that with these kind of things, because like I give you space to do that. 'Cause I feel like my friends have given me a lot of space to make mistakes as well.
Oh, yeah, I think only through the mistakes you actually learn.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. Somebody telling you, you're just not gonna learn. I don't learn like that. Like, I have to really, really, really go through it to learn.
After my recent breakup with my ex-girlfriend, I just told him, okay, I'm gonna go through a slut phase, and I'm just gonna go around and just, like go on random dates.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
You
that's
just want
normal
to
behavior.
Yeah.
I think that's healthy.
It is. I wouldn't say, I don't know if healthy is the right word.
You know, like and since growing up, right, there is so much importance placed on romantic love. Like since I was a kid, like, you know, movies, books,
Yeah.
poems,
Disney.
Yeah,
Disney,
especially
you know,
Disney.
everything is always about love, your husband, your wife, you're gonna get married, what they're gonna look like, you're gonna have kids, all of that. And so our dreams is always of a great love. But at least for me, in my life, maybe I haven't been that lucky in like the romantic love sense, but the love that I've experienced with my friends has been some of the greatest love I've ever had in my life. Like to just be known and accepted in this way, it's like it's almost unbelievable, and it makes me feel that like, okay, if I have all these friends who can love me and see me and support me through life, then I'm okay. You know, I got this. I got people holding me up, and I feel that feels incredible. But why do you think, as like a society, we don't place importance on friendships the way we do with romantic love?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like for me, in my entire life, now that I am 26, a grown woman,
A grown lady.
and I'm myself. I know who I am. I'm like, you know, secure in who I am and everything. I'm an adult to make these decisions, and it's like the first time in my life where I have a healthy relationship with like incredible friends, and also a healthy relationship with my romantic partners, because I always prioritize romantic partners and then had like no friends. I just
That's common.
relied
Very
my life
common,
on one boyfriend, and then that's it. And I went like that for like 13 years, and it was terrible, and it was toxic, it was codependent, and like it was just, and I'm so happy that I was, and then completely like neglected all my friendships and people who were there for me. I just neglected them, and then obviously the friendships ended, and now obviously that I'm in this great place where I can like invest time into both areas of my life separately. I think it's great, and I think anyone should do it, especially if you're young, if you're a teenager, if you're, you know, growing. I think investing into those areas separately is just so good and healthy, you know. But that's just my experience. I don't know about
But
you
like
guys.
when you were going through, like, you know, you had long relationships back to back, right? At that time, why do you think you felt that, like, okay, I need to just focus, because you zone in on it. Why do you think that?
I don't know. I think it's like my upbringing, maybe, because I come from an extremely like loving family, and like my parents are just in love they've been in love for like 30 plus years. So I saw that, and I just thought that was like the ultimate thing that I needed to achieve, especially when growing up and I was young, which is really wrong, because you can do again two simultaneously.
You can have it all, yeah.
So it's just maybe, and also me being very shy when I was young. I was quite insecure of who I was, so I could only be my extreme self with only one person.
And then you feel that you feel very like tied to this person, because okay, this person accepts me, nobody else will.
Yes, exactly. So I just put all of my energy, love, affection, everything into just this single individual, and then that's it, which is very wrong. And I'm glad that I learned and completely changed myself in my life. It is a process. Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I can understand where you're coming from, because with my ex also I was living overseas at that time, so going out and making friends is always been a struggle and always draining my energy. And then I was always saying that, why do I need to do all that when I can just go back home and then Skype with my ex-girlfriend? You know, it was just so easy.
Because you're comfortable, you can
exactly. Yeah. So, and then like you said, you can just be yourself with her, and then nobody's gonna judge. You're not draining your energy. But as you grow older, you know more, and then you kind of realize that no, that's actually wrong. You have to balance out these two. And I guess I don't know, the upbringing kind of like makes you feel that way, or maybe it's just a natural feeling of a human being.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that.
I think it's a combination of everything. I think
Yeah.
with movies and all, right?
Mm.
Like if we look at the all old Disney movies, it really had a set of high
Like, where were their
expectation.
friends? None of them had friends.
Yeah,
No.
none of them had friends. I mean, well, Snow White had like 7 dwarves. I don't know if they were friends though. Also, don't know how she paid rent.
Let's not think too much.
Yeah. But like, you know, if you look at all the old rom-coms, you know, I think in the 90s, they set a really high expectation for romantic relationships. And then slowly towards the 2000s, you know, we had shows like Friends, and we had How I Met Your Mother, and then we had, what's that other one with, that girl, the new girl. Yeah, New Girl, yeah. So it became a lot less about romantic relationships.
Yeah.
And then I think slowly now, if we also look at the current Pixar and Disney movies, is moving away from that whole princess stereotype and moving more into like, okay, how do you fix your own internal problems?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
If you look at like Encanto
Yeah.
or something like that, you know, it's
Love
huge.
that movie.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. And I think it's a move in the right direction so that you no longer place that high expectation in a romantic relationship, and you also learn how to balance off your friendships.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also like when I was growing up, my mom, she would always tell me, she's like, never forget your friends if you have a boyfriend, never forget your friends, never forget. She's like, I
True.
did that. And my parents are lucky because they love each other and they're each other's besties. Like they're always just like being best friends all the time. That they managed to find that with each other. But my mom is always like, I wish I'd kept all my friends. And because I did zone in on my boyfriend and he became my entire world. So she always had that in my brain. So, but I will say that even when I was dating, all I could do was talk about my boyfriend. I would still be with my friends, but that was all I would talk about.
Yeah.
So it is also upbringing, I think, because it was such a heavy thing that my mom was like, you should not be like that. Because your friends are so going to be a very important part of your life. You need that relief.
I think as long as I have my 5 core friends, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Everybody else can just disappear, but like
Yeah,
that
actually,
core.
I don't have many best friends, very few, but they're core.
They're
Like,
important.
they're very important.
Very, very
yeah.
important. You know, in what ways do you think like your friends have shaped who you are as a person?
Okay.
Everybody's looking at you.
I don't know. I think the group of friends I've selected have always more or less been the same type of group. You ever-
Tauruses?
Oh no, it's you know, people who are open to new experiences. People who are not so atas. You know, they're not like super rich or anything like that. They're not also like, you know, they're very cool. You can hang out with them. You can go lepak with them at the mama. You can talk about stuff. They've always been more or less that same type of clique. You know, they've never been like the cheerleaders. Or they've never been like the jocks. You know, it's always been a slightly geeky, fun, board gamey type of group. And I've always stuck in that group. You know, yeah.
I guess, I don't know, for us, like at least for me, I think all of our friends are extremely different. Like we're all quite different. Like we'll be like acting completely out of line.
If you see us
in the
going for a
corner.
night out, 5 of us, everybody's going to a different event. We're all just completely different.
Yeah, so I feel like being multifaceted and stuff like completely like makes us look like in a different view, each of our personalities, and completely makes us accepting of all of it, not only within our group but also outside of it. Like I find myself accepting so many more things and being open because like, oh, my friends have been through this or they act like this or this, so of course I love it. You know what I mean? It just helps me
It's because
accept
you're
more things.
yeah, because you love them and you accept them for whatever they've been through. So in that sense, that
It applies
crosses over,
outside. Yeah, for sure.
I guess for me, it will be totally different experience than you guys, I guess, because he's a middle child and I'm a last child, and the elder siblings were all very old. So, I mean, with the above me was like 3 years older than me, and the rest like 5 years, 6 years older than me. So I've always been kind of like, not the only child, but sort of, because I was the last one. So I tended to be very, you know, like living in a shell, kind of. But with the friends, you kind of like think that, okay, you are not just thinking about yourself, so being less selfish, I would say. Yeah, you have to think about the other person. You can't just like, for example, if you're in a group, what I will always do, which is my bad habit, is like I will always like, okay, they want to go there. Okay, I think I want to go there. I'll just go there without telling people. That's what I do when I was younger. But then I was like, hey, some people say, hey, that's not right. You shouldn't do that. At first I was like, why? Like, I want to go there. You can go there. Like, I'm not judging you or anything.
It's about compromise.
Exactly, yeah. And then as I
Yeah.
get older and more friends, I get to learn that it's about the compromise that you
Yeah.
have to think about other people, not just
Yeah.
yourself.
Being
yeah.
considerate is very
Exactly,
important.
And
yeah.
I think that like when you've been friends with people for so long, like they kind of help you grow up as well. Like there's like in the process of growing up, having my friends tell me stuff like, no, you're wrong in this, or yes,
yeah.
you're justified in this. So like maybe you can think about it this way, and like because I love them so much, opinion really means something to me. So I take it and it changes me. And like it's just like it's even like the small things in my life, like when I like take a painting out in my room, I'm like, I wonder if Gil would like this. Like I like her artistic taste.
Yeah,
Like like
yeah.
I think about that, and then like when I go and like water my plants, I think about my other friend, how she told me, oh yeah, you should mist your plants as well, and that's why I do that.
Yeah, it's
It's-
her influencing you.
Yeah,
like,
in these little ways,
details.
and like there's so much of me that is made up of all these people in my life,
Yeah.
and like I like the way you do that, and I respect this about you, and I find this so charming about you that I want to adopt this into my life. And
Yeah.
so who I am is like I am me, but I'm also parts of all of the people.
Of all their
that-
best qualities, I like absorb
yeah.
them because why not?
Yeah.
because I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess when you ask for advice and they give you really good pieces of advice, and you can take it
You
in.
can and you want to receive that advice.
Yeah.
I think that's like with my best friends, I'm down to receive, but like with sometimes other people, I'm like, who are you to tell me how to live my life?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, normally when it comes to my best friends, even Shafeez, right? I won't really go to him with my biggest problems. Like, sometimes I'll tell him what's going on, and he'll give me like his advice.
Yeah.
But whenever it comes to really, really deep stuff, I would rather go talk with my psychologist about stuff like that. Because what I've noticed about friends is that they want to see you happy.
Yeah.
So some of the things that you do, it might make you happy, but it might not be the right thing to do in the long run. Whereas a psychologist, once you talk to them about things, they kind of like dig deeper and say, okay, do you actually think this is the right thing to do? And then they point you in the right direction. Whereas friends, sometimes, they mask it and they just want to see you happy, and they'll tell
That's
you.
so true. I
That's
actually
true.
think there also has to be boundaries. Someone can go through horrendous things at once. And I think it's also you asking your friends, are you okay with me dumping all of what's going on in my life to you? Do you have the space for that? Can you be there for me? Because some people have their own issues, and you trauma dumping all of your friends, it can be also like what you said, a bit tricky.
And
therapist is like completely like the right
That's the right
person to
person
to
talk
talk
to about.
But I also see what you're saying is that like I want to see you happy.
Yeah.
So I will say what I think would be best for you to be happy, but maybe not the best thing for you in the
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's like we can't help it. I can't see past because I love you so much. And I
Yeah.
can't see past. I just want you to be happy.
Exactly, and if I've been honest to you about all these things, and then you continue to see me like in this path, you're just like, what? You're not going to tell me up, but you're also going to be very worried. So it's just like,
it's
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
definitely. So familial support systems. We don't talk about it as much, but they're like it's a very important part of feeling like supported in this world. And like some people can't even do medical treatments if they don't have a support system to like come and be with them and take them and all of that. So and I even read this study, and they were saying how like they did this study about people, I don't know where in the world, and they were saying how people who valued friends were generally associated with better health, better well-being, and more happiness. And so how do you feel like in your life, like non-familial support systems, so your friends, have sort of supported you and changed your life or helped you like get through life? I mean, I can go first. I can go first because it's a heavy one.
go,
Like,
go,
so
go.
when I lived in New York, it was like my first true time like living away from my parents. Like I was just on my own, like, and that's where I felt that like one of my besties from when I was 6, like we're still besties now, 20 years going strong. Yeah, it's insane. She also lived in New York, and the two of us were like sort of fighting at that time. Not a bad fight, but we were not, we were not so tight. But knowing that she was there and her knowing that I was there was just this like, I know someone who's got my back is here. And I feel safe, and I feel like I can do anything, and I know that no matter what, I can call her and she can call me. And just having that feeling, I didn't feel so alone. I felt very safe. And over time, building that friend group and the friendships I had in New York without my parents, without any family to support me, that it was so important. It was like sometimes you forget like how much your friends can become family. You know, that was my family at that time. You know, those were the people I spent all the time. I told everything in my life about. Went through all. You know, when you're that was like 19 to 20, 21, 22 in New York. Right? I went through everything. So like those support systems, like they propped me up through. You know, I feel like ending college is like a really hard time. Like, 'cause you think that life is gonna be one way, and then you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So like having friends was, you know, it was everything for me at that time.
I don't know. When I went off to Germany, right, I was kind of just like so happy to have my independence. So happy to be away from like family and all of that, because you grow up under a strict household and you know have curfew and all of those things, and finally you're free.
Exactly.
So the friendships that I had over there, besides yours, I mean, I had like my own group of German friends as well. I think it was nice because it was a time when I could actually experience things on my own. I don't know how much I actually truly rely on them though, because as close as I was with all of them, I wouldn't consider any of those German friends like my best friend. I don't know.
But even so, you know what I mean? Maybe not now, but at that time.
Yeah.
You know, that the support that was there. Did you feel supported? Support systems are interesting.
It's interesting, yeah. It's nothing I don't think I ever really considered it, to be honest, until recently, until you actually start doing the work, you know?
Yeah.
I think for myself, I was always not that open to sharing deep things. I think I only shared it with specific people. And I never really felt comfortable sharing certain things with them, you know? I always felt like I had to keep it to myself. So I think only recently do I understand or value what friendships can actually bring to you, that you actually do need that support system. Like, you know, let's say I were to fall down one day or fall down the stairs or whatever, you know, and my parents are off living in Bangi and that's quite far away and they're both old. I wouldn't think that, you know, I wouldn't call them up. I'd probably call up a friend instead.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's like a great instance, is that like if you were sick or you had an accident and you needed some, like your parents can be there, but you know, they can't do everything. You have the people to rely on to kind of get through it.
Yeah. And I think it's good to have, you know, that group to support you there.
And I think also recognizing support to the extent where that person or your friend is like capable of giving, because you can, you know, be going through whatever and your friends cannot solve every single one of your problems. It escapes out of their hands, but whatever support that it's within their hands to give you, and they do that, it is so appreciated all the time. At least
definitely.
for me, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
So
I think another thing about family is that they are all from different generation, or at least from my family. I think most of us we have family members who are from different generations, and they don't really understand what you're going through. Whereas our friends, they are a lot closer in your age group, and they can get it. And then the advices that they give is much more valuable than your family, which happened to me a couple of years back when I really hated my job. And then I really seriously wanted to leave my job. And then I told my family about it, and they were like, oh, okay, yeah. Do you have any plans? Yeah, I kind of do. And then they're okay, yeah, go ahead. But then I talked to this guy and a couple of my friends, and then there was like, no, don't do it unless you have another job lined up. Because then you're gonna regret it. And then I just feel like, okay, these people or him specifically have gone through this and they know what they're talking about. And then I decide to hear them instead of listening to, not really listening, but they were like, okay, just do it. And then I think,
I feel that, like, even for one of my friends recently, like, he has been dying to quit his job and he's been talking about it. And the other day he called me and my friend and we were like, what are you waiting for actually? You know, you have a plan, you know what to do. But something was putting him off. And then we said, you know what? We don't want to hear about this anymore, so you're doing it right now. And he needed that support system to push him to do it, and he did it. And now after he's going to be free, you know?
Yeah. But does he have a plan B?
He does.
Okay.
He's been planning.
Yeah. Because I didn't have a plan B when I did that. And then I was like jumping without a parachute, which was really stupid. That's why I advised him not to do it.
It was very bad lesson. Very bad advice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But like, it's so important, you know, the familial. That word is so hard to say.
Yes, it is.
Familial. So across your lifetime, you know how like when we're in primary school, we have one type of friend. When you're in high school, you have all your bitchy high school friends. And then when you're in college, you have, you know, how all these different types of friends throughout life. And in adulthood, I feel like I've realized it's like the hardest time, honestly, to make new friends because you're not in school, you know, amongst like-minded people all the time.
How do you meet people?
Yeah, so like how do you feel like your friendships have changed across your life?
I think I'm making a lot younger friends now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so one of my flatmates, Callie, really fun person, and her friend, she brought a friend home one day, and you know, so that friend and I, we just realized we're really good for each other. We're really good friends. So I've been hanging out with her quite a bit, and it's interesting that, you know, I don't make friends through work or anything because there's not that many people in work, or I don't really socialize that much anymore when it was COVID and everything. So I'm meeting friends through other friends and then just realizing that we actually click quite well.
Yeah, I guess in adulthood, that is the way.
Yeah.
I guess me being like, I've learned to be, well, I'm trying, to be less like intolerant or whatever that word is, of things. Like when I was young, I was very intolerant of
Oh my
like,
God, this girl chews so badly. I can't
yeah,
understand
no,
it.
exactly. I'm
Very
just like,
picky.
her laugh is so annoying. I will not tolerate her being around me. And
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just,
yeah.
you know, and then I'll rather be alone. It was that crazy.
Yeah.
But now it's just, obviously I'm an adult. So I'm trying. It happens sometimes where I just cannot stand people, especially for very minor things. But I have to tell myself like, no, these are superficial stuff. You have to look within deeper. And I've found myself making way more friends than I used to because I don't have these like...
Oh, these barriers or these things.
Yes.
I can kind of relate to that. One experience is that I like to play sports when I was young and also growing up. And then when I started working, I just kind of stopped. And I was thinking about it. Why did I stop? And then I realized that I stopped because I didn't have any friends to play with anymore. Tennis or football or whatever. And then I started to realize that, I stopped because, like you said, I kind of get annoyed about something about them, and then I just like turn off, and then I don't want to do anything with them anymore.
Yeah.
Which is like when I grow older, I realized that that's wrong. I mean, you should just stick to that one or few things that you like
Or at least
about the
try
other
and
person.
push past it.
Exactly.
Especially
Yeah.
if it's not an important thing. Because
Yeah.
some people really do befriend anything. Like, and anyone. and I'm just,
That's
that's just
true,
not
yeah.
me.
Some people are very friendly and can
To
like,
everyone.
accumulate a
Yeah.
lot of friends. Yeah.
I think as long as the humor is the same.
It's
as
the
long-
same.
Yeah.
And,
Is
or
that
they don't get
humor-
offended by the
Yes.
things.
I think
Yeah.
laughter is so important. It's
Yeah.
just like I feel
Yeah.
like friends to me are like at this point they're such a relief in my life. You know,
Yeah.
when life is hard and I'm sad and it's
Yeah.
difficult and I'm exhausted, like I can call up my friend or I can even yesterday I just caught up with one of my friends like randomly for like 3 hours and I just like afterwards I left feeling so nice and it felt so good.
Feel good
yeah.
factor, right?
And I was
Yeah.
I was so tired, I wasn't feeling good. Afterwards I just kind of felt like my spirits were lifted. And I was like, yeah, this is what it is. And I think as I get older, so I think I'm just like I need to have deep conversations. Like if I cannot, if somebody doesn't want to at least meet me there in some sense, I can't do it.
I
Like,
can't just
I can't do small talk.
survive in small talk.
I
There's
can't
people
do
who
small talk.
only
Yeah.
have small talk in their friendships
Nah,
because they
that's-
have so many friends that
Yeah.
they can't really go deep. It's just like a superficial, and they have so many friends. But I cannot do that.
Yeah.
I'll find myself like forcing to like keep my yawns in. It's like torture for me.
Yeah,
I cannot do it.
Like if I
It's
can
like-
text you on WhatsApp and go, "Hey, Bish, what's up?" You know,
Yeah.
then if
You
you
know
reply, "What do you want, Bish?" and we're like, "Okay,
Yeah.
yes,"
Yes.
then you're my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it's just people kind of meeting you where you're at. And this is one that like I don't like talking about the pandemic because all we've done is talk about the pandemic. But you know, we went through in Malaysia something I feel like very hard with all the lockdowns. Like I don't think even I went to the States recently and like they did not experience what we experienced here with that tough long lockdowns one after the other. So how did like friendships like play a role for you during that time? In like kind of getting you through it.
I didn't see that guy for years,
Yeah.
right?
Did you call? Did you talk?
No.
No.
Oh my god, it's so different. Because like we just had to like work out together every day
Every
to
day.
keep staying, and like
Yeah.
Oh,
we would have
wow.
like drinks on Zoom
Zoom
and
drinks.
like
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah, like because I think for us, like
yeah.
friendship really got me through the
Mhm.
pandemic. On Monday was movie night with these friends. These days I would work out with this friend. This day I would do, and I would have all these little things that
Yeah.
like stopped me from being just like a ball of depression in my bed.
Yes.
Porn
Yeah.
got me through this. pandemic.
I mean, we get
You know what? To each their own.
Yes.
Kind of.
No, but I guess even talking or being like, are you feeling like you're going insane? I'm not alone in this, right? And then
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
experiencing obviously the exact same thing like every single human in the world. But just having that
No, because
Yeah.
like sometimes when I felt like, especially during the lockdown, like you look at other people and they seemed okay,
Mm.
and I was like,
I think if you have flatmates, it makes life a lot easier. If you have
Okay.
somebody that you're living with,
Mm.
oh my god, if I was staying alone, I would have gone crazy.
yeah.
Yeah. Even if you
Yeah.
have pets, that's fine. At
Pets-
least there's
oh
something
my
else
God. Yeah,
there,
that's
you know?
another thing that got me through the pandemic.
Yeah,
for
for
sure.
girls. Yeah.
Funny, we're all cat ladies.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh,
All of
okay.
us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cat lady
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, cat lady. Huge
Yeah,
cat lady.
yeah, kind of. Cat person.
So like I've just got a couple more questions for you guys, but like we've kind of been talking about friendships and all that, but like when it comes down to it, what makes a good friend?
Non-judgmental.
Yeah.
I think that's number one.
That's
That has to be number one.
Just
Yeah.
being there, unconditional, and just like genuine. I think just being a genuine friend and considerate. Considerate is very important.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people only put themselves first, their interests. So no, we're gonna do in this friendship what I want. We're gonna go to only this
Yeah.
place. We're gonna only talk about these
Oh,
things.
God.
if you need to fit into my
yeah.
life.
Yeah, so I feel
Yeah.
like considering like I like these things, but also I know you like these things. So let's meet halfway all the time, and
Yeah.
then vice versa.
And, like,
I feel like
yeah.
that's so healthy, and
I think it's just somebody that you can be yourself with.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
can
for
share the
sure.
same type
Hard,
of jokes and
yes.
everything.
yeah.
Yeah, like there are sometimes like he and I will just be walking down the street and we don't even have to say anything. We'll just know what the
No,
other person
No,
is
it's
thinking.
that eye contact,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I think for me it's also that like it's you kind of allow the other person to be. You just let them be. Someone who will let me be and I let them be, and there's no jealousy, there's no judgment, there's just love.
There's
No
no
complaining.
competition.
That's
competition.
yeah, that is
Yeah.
so important. No
Yeah.
competition. Like
For sure.
it's like for me it's like I want to feel like we're on the same team.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
need to feel
Yeah.
that, like, and it's nice knowing that I can tell you about my success and you're not secretly evil eyeing me on the side,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
genuinely like so happy.
You're
for
like,
them.
yes, like,
yeah.
yeah, I hear you.
Like you feel it in your heart and everything. You're
It's
just
a
like,
success
so
for me
content.
too. That's
yeah,
how it feels.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's some people there, you know, they will pretend in front of your face, but then
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
in your back.
And I mean that's reflective of them and not you, but it like I think that to experience that would be very hurtful because you'd hope that the friends in your life would perceive your success as their own as well.
Oh,
Because it's like, you know, we're doing this together, you know, we're trying to figure out this shitty
Yes.
life together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's hard and it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's also lovely.
And life is a lot better when you have somebody else in the same boat paddling along with you.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I can turn around and look and she's struggling too and okay lah, wait.
Yeah.
It's like in Toy Story. I seriously before coming here, I said to myself, don't say about this, but I guess I'm the one who's gonna say it. Like in Toy Story, when they sing, you got a friend in me.
Honestly, that was literally on my mind. one
Yeah,
second ago.
right? Before coming here, I was like, no, I'm not gonna say that, but now I'm gonna say it.
The minute you put it in your mind, it's coming out.
Yeah,
Oh my
exactly,
god,
yeah.
theme song.
It's a good
I
thing
think
to
it's a
have.
very expensive copyright. So no theme
Oh,
song.
sorry.
No, you didn't sing it. Okay, so my last question. And so if there's somebody who's watching this, you know, and they're like struggling to make friends, struggling to find their people, their community, the ones that are going to go through life with them, what advice would you give them on how to make friends, how to be a good friend, all of that?
I guess be open, as cliche as it sounds, just completely force yourself outside of your comfort zone. It's the only way we're meant. Like, good things will happen and you'll meet people that you never thought you met. And you'll find communities that you never thought you would be a part of. And just like be open. It's like the only way you can make friends, truly. I don't know what else. Yeah.
I met this new group of friends through Clubhouse during the whole pandemic. Yeah. So it's just also, what was it? Bring the Geek is the Clubhouse room. And it's just a bunch of people who enjoy the same type of things, like movies and comic books and everything, and you just talk about it.
That's the way you relied on friends during lockdown?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
And I finally met them all like a couple of weeks ago when we watched Batman together. And it's
Oh,
like, oh, so
nice.
this is what this person looks like in real life. Yeah.
And I think there's something to that when you're just friends on interest. There's nothing about like anything else going on there.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think interest or also passion is also one thing, because I think I don't know if you're passionate about talking, but it's something that you like to do, right? I mean, then you cannot stick to it. I guess. Yeah, you're an
Honestly,
extrovert.
one of my friends said that to me the other day. Actually, this kind of job seems right for you. All you want to do is talk. And I was like, I don't know if it's a compliment or insult by this. I'm gonna take it as a compliment.
Yeah, it is. I give it as a compliment to him, because I know that he's an extrovert person, and when he found Clubhouse, I thought, yeah, good for him. He found something that he likes.
That's good.
And then he connects with other people with it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're more introverted, right?
Yeah.
I feel the
Yes.
extroverts always find their introverts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I
it
don't know,
just
I
completes each other, kind of.
We're similar.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Because I feel like maybe I'm a bit of an introvert, but like not really within our friend group. But if it's outside of it, I meet new people. I'm just completely.
I think that in that sense, then you can say,
But
I'm
within
an
my
extrovert,
friend group, I'm like the.
That's the
nutcase.
comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say for anybody who's like trying to make friends, it is really about putting yourself out there. Like one of my best friends, how I met her, it was I had gone to college for one semester, and the first semester I was so shy. I remember like distinct moments people would ask me to hang out, and I'd say, no, I'm going home, and I would just like run home because I was so shy. And so on the first day of the second semester, I like looked myself in the mirror and I was like, Afshi, you're gonna make friends, you're gonna say hi to the first person you sit next to. Like I really gave myself this pep talk, and I was ready, and I like walked in and I sat down in my class, and this girl was sitting next to me, and I was like, hi, I'm Afshi, what's your name? And she was, hi, I'm Shavina. And we're still friends still now.
Oh.
So I just, like, she's one of my best friends in my life, you know? And I just did it. I just told myself, you know what? You're not going to enjoy college if you don't do this. So I revved myself up. I told myself, I'm going to do this. And you will meet those people, you know, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like there's this saying in German, they say, people say when it comes to job interviews, but I think it applies to friendship as well, or making friends. They say that schlimmer als Nein kriegt man nicht.
What? One more time.
Which speaking is that?
German.
So, schlimmer als Nein kriegt man nicht. Also,
Schlimmer als Nein kriegt man nicht.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like the worst thing that can happen is that somebody says no to you, and that's
Exactly.
it. Yeah, you don't have to be embarrassed about it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
What's
nothing
that?
worse is gonna
Exactly.
happen.
Yeah, it's just like you have to. The worst thing anybody can say is no.
No,
So she'd
and
be
then
like,
you move on.
hey, I'm Shavina, I don't feel like talking to you. I'd be like,
Would it be embarrassing? For sure.
horrified,
Yeah.
mortified, never want to sit next to her, might switch out of the class. But I live.
Yeah, you're not
exactly.
gonna die.
Yeah,
And I'm going to be able to tell this story forever.
Yes.
All right, guys. I think we'll end it there. I think we're going on for almost an hour. So thank you
Cool.
so much. This is such a
Thank
lovely,
you.
heartfelt. Sometimes we have conversations here which are so painful and sad. And so this feels so nice and lovely. And thank you so much. And for those of you watching, please like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe and stay woke. Bye.
Bye.